We now move on to our fourth and final award before we move on to the more social part of the evening, once we've tied up a couple of loose ends. I'm devastated to hear, Minister, you won't be repeating your efforts of last year. The organising committee still talk in hushed tones of wonderment at your efforts dancing last year. First onto the dance floor, last to leave is the phrase that was used. Someone else is going to have to carry that heavy burden this year on the dance floor. But before we do, our most prestigious award of the night, I want to invite Stafford Hamilton on behalf of Investec Medical Finance to the stage. They are the major sponsor of this evening to announce and present this award. Please give Stafford a big round of applause. Great to see him back.
Good evening, everyone. The bad news is Fiona told me I had 5 minutes to talk. The good news is I'll be doing it in under 2. My colleagues have been reminding me constantly over the last couple of weeks, this is the event that last year I managed to almost fall off the back of the stage. And I have to thank Minister Skinner, who reached out very kindly to help me, and I'm hoping obviously not for a repeat performance. I'd like to add my welcome to everybody this evening from Investec Medical Finance as the principal sponsor. This is one of the larger, probably some 450 events that we sponsor a year across the medical community, and obviously we feel it's very important to support the things that you think are very important. So as you head back into the workplace, we'd love you to make us aware of those events that you think we should be sponsoring and we should be getting involved in. And obviously, it wouldn't hurt if we lent you some dollars here and there. Earlier this week, we were joined by Barry O'Farrell at our offices to launch a great initiative between the Investec Foundation, the Gonski Foundation and the Royal Flying Doctor Service called the Tooth Program. It's an outreach program to take dental services into the most remote areas of New South Wales. And obviously we hope that reinforces our commitment to the type of initiative that we think is very important within the medical community. I'd like to take one moment just to congratulate all the nominees for DIT of the Year. I'm sure you agree that the value of an award like this comes from the quality of the competition, and I can honestly say this award is no exception. All of the candidates should be congratulated on the excellence that they demonstrated in their nominations, and I would like to congratulate everybody, even though there does have to be one winner. Finally, I'd like to thank the AMA, obviously, for putting on another great evening and motivating something that we all think is incredibly important. And on behalf of Investec Medical Finance, I hope you have a wonderful evening, and maybe we'll see everybody dancing later on the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Stafford. Yes, let's meet. Just checking. Take that seat. You're on watch there, Minister. Excellently done. Let's meet our 3 outstanding finalists for tonight's final and most prestigious award. I'll introduce them one at a time, tell you about them, ask them a couple of questions, and then we will announce a winner. Our first finalist for Doctor in Training of the Year is Dr. Lisa Dark. Now, Lisa's a registrar working primarily within the field of neurology at the John Hunter Hospital in Newcastle. It was actually in hospitality where Lisa developed her passion for working with people, which has carried through to her career in medicine. Her sense of compassion and ability to relate to the experiences of others is evident both in her treatment of patients and her interaction with senior and junior colleagues. She provides an unrivalled level of care to her patients and demonstrates a keen interest in their psychological and social well-being as well as their physical health. And in addition, Dr. Dark has long been an advocate for her junior colleagues. She demonstrates an incredible commitment to her colleagues by working hard with senior staff members to continuously improve supervision and workload conditions while going out of her way to provide advice and support to junior colleagues who seem to be struggling either personally or professionally. Her readiness to come to the aid of interns struggling with their first night shift is well known, and one referee said it's not uncommon to hear a sigh of relief when a junior doctor realises that it's Dr. Lisa Dark, the registrar, to be called for assistance. Well, tonight, the sighs of relief are replaced with much-deserved applause. Congratulations, Dr. Lisa Dark. Come here, Lisa. Now, tell us about your background in hospitality.
Oh, well, I grew up in the Blue Mountains, so of course in the Blue Mountains with the tourism industry up there, you end up working in hospitality. So that's what I did while I was in high school, and I also took some time off after the HSC, and I loved it. I really loved working in hospitality. I loved the buzz of working with people. But I also studied science, which I really enjoyed, but I found sitting in a lab just didn't give quite the same interaction. And it occurred to me one day that medicine might be a really nice mix of hospitality and science, and it is.
Yeah, were you just like, were you just pouring a coffee one day or answering a phone at a hotel and you thought, no, I want to be a neurologist?
Not quite, but something along those lines.
How tough can those first night shifts be for people?
Oh, terrifying, absolutely terrifying, and particularly when you're a very junior staff member and you're on your own and you feel like there's no one else there, and of course there is. So I remember what that felt like, and I make sure that I'm very kind to the junior staff.
It sounds like you've discovered something you really love doing.
I love medicine and I love neurology, and I feel very lucky to be working in this field, and I know a lot of that is because I've had so many wonderful mentors along the way who have passed on their love for medicine and their dedication, and so I try to in turn pass that on.
Well, congratulations, Lisa. Take a seat while we meet our next two finalists. Dr. Lisa Dark, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, please give a round of applause for Dr. Parth Shah. Parth, please come forward. Parth is a senior RMO working in ophthalmology at the Sydney Eye Hospital and Sydney Hospital, and has been nominated in particular for exceptional work at RPA over the last 2 years. During this time, he acted as president of the RMO Association, and in this capacity was extremely strong as an advocate for junior doctors. He represented JMOs on many different committees and worked hard, in particular encouraging his junior colleagues to maintain a good work-life balance. Last year he was chosen to participate in the Future Leaders Development LEAP program run by SETI, and in particular he recently completed a stint of volunteer work doing eye surgery in Burma, an experience he describes as the highlight of his career. Humble, hard-working, trustworthy, all tremendous but deserved accolades given by the nominees of our second finalist, Dr. Parth Shah. Congratulations, Parth. Good, mate. Oh, we've got a few Parth Shah fans in the house tonight. Work-life balance, easier said than done. What sort of advice do you give to young doctors?
Well, yeah. I mean, we all get told that when we start medicine and our careers that it's important to balance and it's important not to burn out. And whenever I've tutored medical students or interns or my fellow colleagues, I've always said, what are you doing outside of work? What are you doing when you get home? Just to make sure that there's a balance in life, exactly.
We've already heard, and it's sad but not surprising, that there's no ambulances in Western Kenya. I presume there's not a great eye care system in Burma. What was that experience like for you?
That was incredible. So, in fact, it's a funny story. We actually got picked up at the airport in Burma by the local ambulance, of which there's only one, and that's our taxi. Wow. But the eye care service actually got started about a decade ago by one of the ophthalmologists, Jeff Cohn. And it's actually run pretty much by Australian ophthalmologists, and it's really come forward. We go there every 4 months or so, and there's 4 different sites in Burma, and it's incredible the work that we do there even for a couple of weeks that we go at a time. We see the most advanced pathology, and incredible, and all the surgery is very different to what we do here, but everyone is so grateful, and it was just really rewarding experience. Yeah.
As a proud member of the Wonky Eye Club myself, I've availed myself of the services of Sydney Eye Hospital myself in the past. What is it about the eye that fascinates you so much?
I think it's everyone values their vision. We can all agree, if you ask anyone in the audience if they've had any problems with their vision, then it's just something that really affects your life, and so it's really rewarding to even make a small difference to someone's vision, even if all they need is glasses. If you prescribe them a pair of glasses and they're like, I can see my life is completely different. So I think that's the thing, everyone really values their vision, whereas sometimes you can get a bit disillusioned by blood pressure or other problems where they can't really know what's going, my blood pressure's but they can't feel it, whereas vision, everyone values it, and so even if you make a little difference, it's very rewarding.
You sound very content with where you're at the moment?
I'm very happy. I've had the opportunity to work more and more in ophthalmology in the recent months, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really glad that that's what I decided I wanted to do, and hadn't really had much time to actually do ophthalmology, and having done that, it's been really, really fascinating and exciting.
Dr. Parth Shah, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations, Parth. Take a seat, mate. And our final finalist is Dr. David Yeo. Now, David has spent the last few years, give him a round of applause, working in hepatobiliary surgery at the Royal Prince Alfred Hospital in Camperdown and the Austin Hospital in Melbourne. He's been called a talent to be nurtured by his superiors and continues to impress both senior and junior colleagues with his exceptional skills in mastering complex surgical operations and his dedication to thorough and compassionate patient care. His teaching and research is also of the highest standard, and as a result, Dr. Yeo has earned a great deal of respect from his junior colleagues who consistently look to him as an example. His ability to work flawlessly within a team and to assist those more junior than him while simultaneously creating a sense of inclusion makes him a pleasure to work with. Dr. Yeo's conduct within the workplace demonstrates a commitment to and passion for medicine which extends far beyond the parameters of a normal job. It's evident to those who work with him that the many day-to-day challenges encountered by Dr. Yeo serve only to make him more focused and determined to reach best possible outcomes for his patients. Our third finalist, Dr. David Yeo. Lovely to see you, David. We bumped into each other before the function began and worked out this is not actually the first time we've met.
No, that's right, actually. Adam single-handedly got me through Maths 101. He's actually a maths tutor at Sydney University, and many, many years ago, he was invaluable, I can tell you, at getting me through that. So you're really responsible for me being here.
Thank you, David. I mean, obviously, I also know a lot about hepatobiliary surgery, but hypothetically, if I had never heard of it, how would you define what it is?
So, hepatobiliary surgery, Adam, is sort of liver and pancreas and bile duct surgery, and it sort of encompasses that kind of surgery, including transplant. So,
is it the sort of field where the surgical techniques are rapidly evolving, or are you trying to hone tried and tested methods down through the years? Where's it at as a field?
As a field, it's a pretty young field. If you look at sort of hepatobiliary surgeons around, you know, most are under 50. So, in surgical terms, that's very young. So.
You're also described as a prodigious researcher as well as a skilled surgeon. Do you have a preference for either the research or being in the operating theatre? Do they balance each other for you?
I think if you were to ask any sort of surgical trainee or surgeon, I think they almost universally say that surgery is number one, but the research is another element to that work, which is nice. But I think surgery would be the first for me.
And it's commented in several of your nominees that a passion for what you do. It seems to be the uniting theme of all of our finalists here. This is more than just a day job for you, isn't it?
Well, that's true. It's often a night job as well.
True.
That's the problem with surgery. I think most
can't
people
really
are going
just go,
That's right.
I'll be back tomorrow.
That's right. What is good about surgery, though, is if you, with the team, you know, you spend more time with the team than you do with your partner or your friends or your family. So with a good team, it actually is a fantastic thing, and, you know, you do look forward to going to work in the morning.
What is the secret to a team really clicking? I mean, you've all got skills, you all want to be there. What's the secret to a team really working in a surgical environment?
I think you've got to get along outside of the work, you know. You've got to be able to sort of go and have a coffee together or go and have a beer together or something like that, and then working is much more enjoyable, I think.
Give him a round of applause, Dr. David Yeo. He is our third finalist. Stafford, would you like to do the honours? This envelope has the winner's name written inside.
It does. The DIT of the year is Lisa Dock.
Stafford, that's very heavy than the pathfinder. Lisa, please.
All right. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the AMA and thank you all very much. This is a great honour, and I think not just for me, but I hope that it recognises, you know, everyone who's in a similar situation and tries their hardest to do their best and to pass on the love of medicine, and I think we all do that. I'd like to thank my family as well, because I think, as most of you would know, this is a long road in medicine and it affects our partners and our families, and they go along for the ride with us. And that's about it. Thank you.
And I've got two other certificates here. Just before you run away, please give Dr. David Yeo another large round of applause, and Dr. Parth Shah too.